Welcome to ComSpark. Today we are in Louisville, Kentucky. My name is Vince Malcolm and I'll be your host today. Today we have Chris Caldwell from KFC US. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning.
What accomplishments from 2019 are you most proud of?
Yeah, so 2019 has been a really big year from a technology perspective at KFC US. When I really reflect and think of like what I'm most proud of, I think some of the work has been more foundational from a technology perspective, like really to set us up for some kind of future endeavors. So when I talk foundational, an example is we deployed a new network in all 4,000 of our restaurants in the US. So I think a lot of people don't appreciate to go fast, you really need to work and make sure that you have the foundations in place first. Another example foundationally is, we've just launched online ordering at KFC US. So you can go to KFC.com, you can place an order, pick it up in the restaurant, you can get it delivered to your house. And we've seen some massive early wins from a technology perspective there. Also from an accomplishment perspective, and what I'm proud of this past year is really, I feel like technology has really moved from a bit of a cost center to more of a profit center, right? So historically, when people look at our department, they think, wow, you guys are spending a lot of money from a technology perspective. How can we reduce cost, right? It was always a cost conversation, but I really feel like now those conversations are, how can we drive profits and use technology to drive sales within the organization? So again, that's been a really, really exciting shift to go from the cost center to be looked at as, everyone's excited about technology and what it can do for the business now. So I think that's definitely a big shift I'm proud of.
Terrific. It's great to hear the excitement. What can we expect from you and your team as we head into 2020?
Yeah, so when I look at our strategy from a technology perspective, it really ties to our business objectives. So again, doubling down on digital is one big thing that we're going to be focused on. So when I say digital, I mean like digital ordering. So I mentioned we've launched KFC.com for ordering, but we want to continue to improve like the user experience and make that easier for our guests to use. We want to get more omni-channel. So KFC.com is just one channel to order, but we want to add, apps and kiosks and really give the customers the technology they're asking for to interact with our brand. So I think, we'll continue to drive additional channels and move more to omni-channel. And then a big focus on data next year. Like really, I think the more data we have as an organization and the more digital sales we have and customer data we have, I think it's going to give us a lot of opportunity going forward to really double down and use that data to continue to drive sales and improve things. And then I think lastly, the big area of focus for us next year is really simplifying and making our operations within the restaurant more efficient. So we still have a lot of processes that are somewhat manual, can be paper-based. So I'm looking, across our entire operations of what are some areas where we can take from paper-based manual processes and digitize that and make it much more efficient for our operators. One example is our inventory process within the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Extremely manual, right? Inventory comes in, they have to check it in, they manually go around and count boxes and count cases. It's a really time-consuming process. Not only counting it, but inputting it into the system, determining what they need to order for their next order, and actually placing the order with the distributor. It's an extremely manual process. So we're looking at that entire supply chain process and how we can automate it using things like tablet-based technology or RFID technology to take inventory. Machine learning and advanced analytics to determine what the next order needs to look like, and then actually automating the process of placing an order within the restaurant. So our goal is to actually remove the restaurant manager from that process to let them focus on the guest and quit focusing on all their time on manual processes. So we're excited about that as well.
Yeah, automation certainly is a buzzword.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
What trends in technology are you most excited about or that you will be most focused on?
Yeah, I think back to my comment earlier on data,
mm-hmm.
I think we're really going to be focused on using the data to drive the business. So a couple examples, the more data we get on consumers and their preferences, we can be much more personalized on how we interact with you. If we know what you like and dislike, how often you come to our restaurants, we can start to predict what types of food you might like, give you suggestive, here's something, you bought a chicken sandwich, maybe you want to add, fries with that, or add wedges, or add a different side. So I think the more we can gather data, I think we can engage with our guests at a much deeper level. So I'm really excited about that. And then I think what we spoke about earlier, just more and more automation. I mean, I think it's a little further out in the restaurant industry for things like robotics, but when you look at our industry, we spend a lot of money on labor within the restaurants, right? So anything we can do to either take labor out of the restaurants or potentially have our employees be more guest-facing versus, whether it's frying chicken or making sides, any way we can use robotics or automation back there, it really, really gets me excited. And I think it gets our franchisees excited because it makes them more profitable and it allows them to give our guests a better experience.
Terrific. What challenges have you had to overcome in the IT field this year?
Yeah, I think the big challenges are really prioritization and funding, because there are just so many ideas. There's no shortage of ideas out there. My team franchisees have a lot of ideas. My team, I have a lot of ideas on all the things I want to do. But again, it's really tough to figure out what are the core few things that you really want to double down, make big bets, and prioritize and deliver for the business. So it's really, putting ourselves in the shoes of our franchisees and our customers and really working with them to figure out what are the pain points and, how can we improve profitability. Again, it's a big prioritization exercise because we can't do everything at once. We have to pace and sequence them and really prioritize what we're working on. So I think that'll continue to be a challenge going forward, is just making sure that we're making the right big bets and we're not spreading ourselves too thin so that we can't deliver on our big commitments.
Mm-hmm. Super exciting. Sounds like there's a lot of great things in the future for KFC US. Thank you, Chris, for joining us today. For more information, please visit ComSpark.tech.